The streets of Iloilo City are witnesses to its old grandeur and serves as testimonies to its modern progress. Even the concrete pavements, potholes, and uneven surfaces of the streets are parts of the city's history. There are many interesting things to see from this most noble city. The city street names, almost unchanged, largely unnoticed, are part of it, since it reflects the history and progress of the city and the people living here right now. How Iloilo City streets got their names. Number 1. Calle Santo Rosario. Santo Rosario Street is the oldest street in Iloilo City, and it certainly shows the old Spanish-era houses lining the street that gives you a feel of the old city's charm. The street was originally constructed to connect Plaza Alfonso XII, or now called Plaza Libertad, to Fuerza del Santo Rosario, now Fort San Pedro. It was where the grand procession took place when the Spaniards carried the image of Santo Rosario in celebration of their victory over the Dutch in 1616. Number 2. Calle Iznart. Iznart Street is named after Governor Manuel Iznart, a former Capitan del Barrio of Iloilo in the 1860s. Currently, Iznart is home to the city's Filipino-Chinese community, which has since established small family-owned businesses ranging from hardware stores to general merchandise outlets. For those unfamiliar with the location, Iznart Street starts from Plaza Latagay to the Maria Clara intersection, which is now more famously known as Iloilo's Chinatown. The street from provincial capital to Plaza Latagay was changed to another name by virtue of City Ordinance No. 6, Series of 1971, and it is now called Calle Caram. Number 3. Calle Caram. Caram Street stretches from provincial capital to Plaza Latagay, and the name change was completely warranted. Dr. Fermin Caram, a medical doctor who later served as governor of Iloilo during the Japanese occupation of the city when World War II broke out in the Pacific, famously saved Iloilo City from imminent bombing by the Americans in 1945 when he, along with Lieutenant Oscar Nava, signaled the pilot flying over them to cease bombing by writing "No More Japs" in bold letters across his terrace. Number 4. Calle J.M. Basa. J.M. stands for Jose Maria Basa and was a well-known merchant, revolutionary, and friend of Jose Rizal. Jose Maria Basa was a reformer and propagandist responsible for funding and smuggling Rizal's novels and La Solidaridad into the Philippines in 1898. Nowadays, J.M. Basa is more famous for its other name, Calle Real or Royal Street, and is now being built up as the shopping area of downtown Iloilo. Number 5. Calle Ledesma. The street is said to be named after Don Anastasio Lopez Ledesma, part owner of the land where the street was supposed to be built on. He donated the land for public use and was named after him in his honor. Some sources claim that Calle Ledesma is named after General Pascual Ledesma, a former merchant ship chief who later served as captain in the Katipunan. During the 1940s, this place was the fiscal artery of Iloilo City. Parlors, tailoring shops, and printing presses were all located here back then. Number 6. Calle de Leon. The street is named after famed revolutionary and municipal president Juan de Leon. Today, De Leon Street is commonly known for being the location of Iloilo Terminal Market, or Super, where jeepneys bound to the south of Iloilo are to be found. Hardware and upholstery shops, many of which are several generations old, are also located there. Number 7. Calle Delgado. Delgado Street is perhaps one of the more famous calles in the city, so it should come as no surprise that it is named after an equally famous man, General Martin Delgado, an Ilonggo revolutionary who fought against the Spanish regime in 1898 by leading the uprising in Santa Barbara. He eventually served as governor of Panay Island until March 1904. Number 8. Calle General Luna. Named after General Antonio Luna, a national hero and a military strategist during the Spanish and American occupation, the street itself is one of the oldest in the city, dating back from the 18th century. This was where the modernization of Iloilo took root during the American occupation. The first sets of electric and telephone wires were also installed here. General Luna is a bustling avenue lined with commercial establishments like hotels, banks, and convenience stores. It also hosts local universities like UP Visayas, University of San Agustin, St. Paul's University, and several primary and secondary schools. It directly connects between Benigno Aquino Avenue, now popularly known as Diversion Road, to the provincial capital building. Number 9. Calle Guanco. Named after Esperidion Guanco, a Molo native, he was one of the first senators of the country during the American occupation. Guanco Street is part of the old business district where the first pawn shops, jewelry stores, and money exchange services were established. Number 10. Calle Muelle Loney. The street is named after Nicholas Loney, a British vice consul who is dubbed as the father of the Philippine sugar industry, part owner of the Loney and Care Company, the pioneering British lending business based in Iloilo during that time. He was responsible for jump-starting the local sugar industry by giving loans and financial aid to land barons and farmers, which they used to avail cutting-edge machineries and tools that enabled them to speed up production of the sweet stuff. Today, Muelle Loney sits adjacent to the Iloilo River Wharf and houses the Aduana Building, the present-day Iloilo Customs House. The city government built a monument of Loney facing the river in tribute to his contribution to Iloilo's trade and commerce. Number 11. Calle Valeria. Valeria Streets holds the distinction of being the only street carrying a first name, that of Valeria Ledesma, the daughter of Anastacio Lopez Ledesma and Clara Halandoni Lopez. Valeria is one of the oldest streets in Iloilo. Don Anastasio planned to donate an area of his lot to the city in honor of his daughter. However, since Calle Ledesma was already taken as a street name, he simply chose to name it instead as Valeria. Number 12. Calle Santos-Kimchi. The street is named after a merchant from China who settled in Iloilo in 1914 and established a business selling native products and crops. Similar to several Chinese migrants who made their mark in the local community, Santos became one of the most respected Chinese businessmen in the city because of his spirit for volunteerism and humanitarian acts. A frequent example of his deeds back then were the fundraising drives and charities he conducted for citizens affected by natural calamities and disasters.